Namaste everyone. Anyone wants to say something? Yes, Robert.
Thank you, Sanjay. Yes, please. I'd like to read a text which we got day before yesterday on the channel together, and I'm going to try to find it here. Yes, in Upadesa Undiyar, verse 14 and 15. So this was again 2 days ago. The breath controlled by pranayama, and it goes into the paraphrase. It says the mind restrained by stilling the breath is prevented from falling into laya. And then so sort of goes on discussing laya so as to avoid it. And it says that you must remain without breath and speech. So I'm going to stop here because in the meditations I've been doing, I haven't really focused on remaining without breath. That's kind of hard to do. I don't know how to do that properly. So I was hoping you could elaborate, please, on what this text refers to and why it seems important to be without breath.
Mm-hmm. So this all finishes off discussing the breath only?
Does it finish off discussing the breath? It says that
Bhagavan was never a big fan of yoga, and for yoga, mainly for Bhagavan was pranayam. So what he meant to say about pranayam is that you control your breath, you control your mind. You stop your breath, you stop your mind. But then the moment you leave the practice, the mind is again back to what it was. So he sort of said it's good to practice, but he emphasized only on self-inquiry in that sense. So I don't know what exactly the inference of the whole thing is, but I can tell you what I think about, because in Updesh Undiyar, he has explained everything. At the end, he has spoken about the self-inquiry, which is the supreme direct path where there are no shortcomings of the method. So, okay, I found this one. Let me read through.
Okay.
The mind restrained by stilling the breath by pranayam is prevented from falling into laya, by the pursuit of one path, the path of knowing oneself through feeling of awareness, with the mind concentrated, single-pointed, and turned within. Then losing its form, the mind becomes extinct. So what this means is that you can start with the breath, but then you should come back to knowing the self by feeling of awareness. So your now mind focused on it turns within and becomes extinct. So basically you start with breath, but you end with self-awareness, self-abidance. And then it's being explained further. And if you see the verse 15 after that, actually is talking only about inquiry. The mind loses its form by inquiry and becomes extinct. And the supreme sage is now firmly established in natural being as reality. No need to perform any action for himself, as he is in the full state of Atman and he is a Mahayogi. So that's what it is explaining here. But if you go back on what Laya is, I think that's what I think you would like to know, what Laya means. Laya is the state in which the mind is not there, but you are also not there. Like you are in Samadhi, but you are not aware of the Samadhi, just like deep sleep. You are also not there, mind is also not there, and when you wake up, then you know, oh, I was in deep sleep. Same thing happens in this type of Samadhi, in which people go deep into trance. They are not aware, but when the trance finishes, then they know that I was in trance and there was no mind. So this is known as Laya. Mind in Laya will never be able to experience its source, because mind is not there, but the awareness of mind not there is also not there. It is like deep sleep. Only a mind fully awake, with its subtlety and sharpness intact, can feel the rising of awareness. When one is thus intent on knowing the source, the mind gets extinct. Seeking the origin, remaining without breath and speech, is referred to by Bhagavan as, while in Sanskrit the verse speaks of one thought, the Tamil verse speaks of one path. Though some think of Ek Chintana refers to Abhed Bhavana, Advaitic sadhana of one non-separate self. In regard to breath techniques, I have to say something. In pranayam, the main thing is not inhaling and exhaling of breath. The main thing is the pause between inhale and exhale and exhale and inhale, when there is no breath happening. So whether you do alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shuddhi pranayam, where you inhale from left nostril, pause, then you exhale out from the right, then pause, then inhale from the right nostril, pause, and exhale out from the left nostril. Here the focus is on the pause between inhale and exhale, exhale and inhale. And you try to increase the duration of that. That is what is important. Yogis in India, even ancient and now, they also focus on another thing which is known as kumbhaka. What they do is they exhale out completely or inhale, and then they hold on to that by doing the bandhas. So those are advanced techniques. So they use the Mooladhar Bandha, Udyan Bandh, Jalandhar Bandh. So locking at the anal sphincter, at the navel, at the neck. Sometimes they do successive bandhas, sometimes all the three Mahabandhas together after exhaling out. And I know those things help to get into that awareness, but it is also dependent on the method. and for how long you are doing it. There was one of the Indian saints, Devra Baba, who lived hundreds and hundreds of years. Nobody exactly knows his age, but people can guess. Some said he lived for few hundred years, 500, 600 years. But India's first president, Rajendra Prasad, wrote in his autobiography that when he was a kid, he used to go with his grandfather to see him. And then he said he looked as old as he is now. And Devra Baba passed away recently. So recently means, I can't say exactly, but not more than 30 years ago or something like that. So, and he used to, and he has revealed that he was using the bandha. He used to do Udyan Bandh, exhaling out, and then you could see he was bent. So he was a yogi. So, and then when he left his body, he deliberately left his breath out of the body. He did a Jal Samadhi. So what I'm saying is all these things belongs to the yoga stream and living long, doing siddhis and all. And look, I'm not an expert in it, but I still will go with Bhagavan, that do breathing. If people are with very disturbed mind is not focused, mind is spread all around, these techniques are very useful. If you ask me, I would say, still I will think more than breath is japa, which is much more powerful and easy to practice. Japa has a lot of power. In some Purans, they say in Kali Yuga, japa is something which is most beneficial. And this morning there was a lady from Spain, and I was talking to her because her mind was all over. I said, look, self-inquiry is not possible at this stage. You have to do some basic training to make your mind more focused, and japa is much easier and you can do all the time. There's no time when you can't do it. That can help. But each to his own. For some people, breath awareness can be very useful. One of the breath awareness which is quite useful can be just being aware of the breath, and that takes away your attention from your thoughts. So whatever you're doing, just bringing your attention back to the breath can be. But for us, rather than attention on breath, why don't we pay attention to awareness? Why we have to take an indirect path? This is what my take on it is. When knowing awareness is much more easier, and that's what we all want to be, in awareness mode. Once we have this awareness, understanding of the awareness mode, this current of awareness is palpable all the time. Whether you are talking, even arguing, whatever is happening in life, once you get a knack of it, you can be with this current of awareness as awareness itself. Not that someone is focusing on awareness, because who is focusing on awareness? Mind. So sometimes the mind might get into it, and then you are aware of awareness, and then again you are into mind. But constant awareness is possible by constant practice to be aware of awareness. And also trying not to create unnecessary issues in life, which is giving rise to thought after thought after thought. On one side, you are trying to be aware and being awareness and being nobody, and then doing all sorts of crazy things to be this body and that body, and doing this and that, and creating issues all around, So it is important that our life should become more simplified in so many ways. Then the path becomes very easy. People who want to use breathing techniques, they can use. But as Bhagavan said, by all these practices, you go into a samadhi and you are not aware. But the moment you come out of samadhi, he gives a very good example about this person, which I think is in Yoga Vasishta, that this guru went into samadhi, and before going to samadhi, he asked his chela to get him some water, and then he went into this samadhi. And then when he woke up from that samadhi, came out, it was thousands of years have passed. So that chela is gone, everything's changed, some new king is there. And then the first thought came to him was, where is my water? So what Bhagavan was trying to say is that going into these deep samadhi states are also not useful, because the mind comes back again. So you are in trance, and then after the trance, what? Then you're back. So slowly and steadily, if the mind gets absorbed in this awareness, that is better. In Bhagavan time, he discouraged people closing eyes for long, and wanted people to be more aware, which is the natural state, Sahaj Avastha, Sahaj Samadhi. Everything is there, eyes are seeing all this around, and still you can abide in awareness in spite of all this. Even to understand, this word, I have to say, he was very cautious what he's telling people, depending on their maturity. Because, okay, let's talk about how this word is around us. You pick up anyone from primary school to a PhD, to a scientist, to a Nobel laureate, everyone will say, yes, there are various theories of evolution of this word. And then he might believe in some or many, but everyone will agree that this word came first, maybe more like amoeba or life in water, and then gradually it evolved, and then our ancestors came more like monkeys, and then Darwin's theory, and then evolution slowly, gradually happened, and then human being came. So life came from very simple protozoa, amoeba, and then this complex human being came into the being. Everyone will agree, all scientists, all students, every human being will agree, because this appears that when we were born, this word was already there, our parents were there, our grandparents were there before them. So we can see in time and space that things have evolved slowly. So then what the religions do, because not everyone in religion knows the truth, they are all like us, egoistic people. They will say this all was created by God, and God created this thing first, and this second, and third, and fourth, and so it's God's creation. So just to keep people God in limelight, or God in picture, that God created it. Okay, and then comes a jnani who knows truth. He tries to find some mature seekers. When they sit around him, he knows they are having some wisdom in them. Then he gives them this dose that all is your creation of your own mind. There's nothing outside. And that is known as drishti srishti, that what you see, you are creating from your mind. There's nothing outside. The first one is opposite to it, srishti, drishti. First srishti is there, this whole word, and then we see it. But in this is projection of our own mind. And then sage explains us that when you dream at night, the whole world is created by our mind. And then you wake up and the whole world disappears. So everything comes spontaneously. But in dream also you can see successive things happening. You will not realize that everything has come at the same time and disappears at the same time. But it happens, this word, what we see, it comes when we wake up, we sleep, it disappears. Now, the mature seeker who has his own experience will rarely agree with it. This is considered to be the idealistic view. The first one is called as a reality view in Western philosophies. Now, this idealistic view can be grasped by Advaitins or seekers because they can correlate everyday experience, and the more you start feeling awareness, this whole, your own experience tells you it's just my mind's reflection and this all is happening. And the knowing this will make you detach from everything. You have no attachment because, it just comes and goes. You can be attached in your dreams to things and everything disappears. Do you start crying after that? You know it was a dream, and same thing happens. This, in awareness, the light of awareness makes everything a bit dimmed, not that much effect on us. It becomes like fake. Everything appears, it takes away its power, like this magic of mind will have less effect on you. So you agree with that and you say, oh, okay, I can see things, but they have very less effect. And I know what I am in a way. So at this level, I believe a lot of people agree, and you can see sages, they say, I am an instrument of God, because the divine awareness energy they can feel, palpate, others can feel. Now comes the real test, which is if the sage declares that this word was never there. He even refutes this creative theory of mind. He says, ajatvad. Vad means, you can say, theory, that nothing. Jata is this creation. He says, means not. There's no creation. He refutes mind, he refutes body, he refutes everything, he refutes whatever is happening. He says it's nothing. Because he has gone so much deep into that. With his own experience, he says there's nothing. He sees nothing. How this happens, I have to because Bhagavan is our ideal, let's take from Bhagavan's life. When Bhagavan was getting popular, a lot of people wanted him to take a word tour or at least a tour in India and preach to people about enlightenment or moksha. And Bhagavan never said yes or no, he just kept quiet. And this man thought it means yes. So he brought all this transport stuff. I don't know what he brought, a tonga or something, and bullock cart or anyway. And he was ready to take Bhagavan. Bhagavan said, no, I'm not going. And he insisted and cried and yelled. And Bhagavan said, no, I'm just here. What do you think I'm doing here? I'm only spreading, but my way to spread is in silence and in this place. It will spread where it has to go. I don't have to walk with the body to do anything. But then he confided in people that there is no one who is ignorant. There is no one who needs enlightenment. There is no one. There is only self. Whom should I do? So, if there is no one in his absolute view, there is no one to get enlightenment because there is no one ignorant. then there's nothing for him to preach. He didn't go. So whichever beings or bodies, whether human beings or cow or dog or whatever, or squirrels, whatever whatever species felt that they are not that, came to him and they all got it. But from his absolute point of view, that self is always free. It is never in any trap. The one who feels I am in a trap is fooling around. If you ask me, I will tell you the truth. I feel everyone is just fooling around. They know the truth, but they don't want to know the truth. They are all aware because we are all aware. That is why everyone is dying around us and we never think that I will die. So at subconscious level, we all know that I'm not going to die. Otherwise, we should be taking this matter as very urgent to sort it out, because the body is going to die soon. And this all satsang and all the people in satsang, everyone will be dust. These satsangs will no more be there. At least these people will not be there, whoever is there in this form. It's a matter of urgency. But somewhere subconscious we know that nobody can kill me. I am eternal, I am unborn. But the issue lies again, if that is what we all know, whatever conscious level, subconscious, do we behave like that? If we behave like that, then it's all sorted out. We are all liberated. But if we don't behave like that, that means there's something, some flaw is there. If the suffering is still there. Because in Western world, they have picked up Vedanta in a very, I would say, not in orthodox manner. They have taken it, there's no one liberated, no one leads liberation, no practice needed, it's all that. Saying is one thing and being in that is other thing. In India, the sages whom you can vouch for, they are that who can say there's no creation. They behave that way. Not just to say. And then when you behave like that, how many people around you, without any technique, as if you're saying no technique, have been liberated? Not a single. That means there's no power in those words. They're just words, because anyone can read Advaita and can say anything, Aham Brahmasmi or whatever, but it has no power. But a sage who even uses swear words can make you liberated by those words. It has nothing to do with words or a dictum or a theory. So if you see Bhagavan actually very rarely said Ajatvad, theory of no creation. I'm not saying he didn't say, but he used to give example mostly of the middle level, knowing that people are not that mature enough to grasp it. That's why this example of dream is the most appropriate. That this is also dream like that. Because teacher has to start where we are, rather than telling something which we cannot grasp. We will refute and we will move away. And then we will be entrapped with some fake gurus who will tell us something different. I think Raj wants to say something.
Namaste, Sanjay. Namaste, everybody. So nice to be back here in Satsang.
Very nice, very nice.
Yes. It's so nice even to hear what you're sharing. But I want to, of course, start by really being grateful for the beautiful time we had in India, in Rishikesh.
Yes.
And highly transformative and highly I don't have words, and I think words will not do justice. So let us keep it at that. But one thing I wanted to share, and then one thing I will say because of what you're saying that came up for me. But one thing I want to say, since I've come back, there is so much bhakti now in my life. Now I am doing arti every day, twice a day. I am singing bhajans, and it's just there.
So when is your album coming?
I don't know. Actually, I was last week. There was this birthday of this friend's son in the mandir, and my wife and the kids went there, and then my wife told me, "Why don't you sing?" Because they was asking to sing, and then I sang the same, chanting your name all day. I don't know why. And after that, the guy is like, "Oh, you need to come here every Monday." And some of them are saying, "Very good." And someone is saying, "Oh, we need to do a kirtan for kids." And I'm like, okay, good, it's good.
Kirtan for kids, but not for them.
Not for them, yes, for the kids and all. It's like they wanted to make an entertainment out of it. And the Panditji there is saying, "You need to come on Mondays. We have foreigners. They will like what you're singing. Your energy is good." And then my wife is like, "They want you to come and entertain them." I'm like, "Okay, this is good." So this is interesting. And then somehow she was not happy with me wanting to go there. And I went, and the mandir was closed. But that's another story. But yeah, it's just there, and the music is there. It's just coming. I'm happy. I'm coming, and there is so much calm there. Also, yesterday, I don't know globally if you follow the what's going on in the markets and all. It's like everything is crashing and all, and there's nothing is touching. Like it's all going on. There is massive impact, and I'm so surprised it is not touching.
Maybe you have not put money in shares,
No,
that's.
no, I have a lot of money there, lot of money lost and all, lot of fluctuation, like not significant amount of literally damages you can see on TV and all, but it's not touching me.
Very good, very good.
It's not touching me. So this is there.
Only God should be touching our heart, because
Yes, it's only God is touching there. Only Ram is coming, Hanumanji is coming, Nim Karoli Baba is coming. All this is there. So beautiful. But about you were saying about how we can be in the world if we completely change, or we say, okay, I am that. I am that I am. Because I told you I went to meet my family after the thing. I went to Dubai. And yeah, they all had that same concern, is that, oh my God, are you being indoctrinated? Where are you going? What is happening? One fine day, will you jump and leave and, be swallowed whole by something and everything? And I got that concern and everything. And then I tried my best without giving a lot that, okay, this is how it is. And then my mother told me that, how can you be like that? Because we are living in a Mayavi world. In a Mayavi world, you have to be with Maya. How can you be like this? How can it work like this? And I don't know. I don't feel like giving a response or anything, but
let them say what they have to say. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
But this is interesting also. And I somehow don't even see, I'm not doing a lot of meditation, like eyes closed kind of thing, but there is bhakti, there is more calm, there is more silence there at the same time. So what you're saying about, Bhagavan used to, I think, was it Annamala, he used to, every time he saw him sitting with his eyes closed, he used to wake him up and give him some work or something. Because he wanted people to be in the present moment, aware.
Yeah, look, I have to say that if you ask my take on liberation, just dry words of Advaita cannot take you anywhere. You have to add devotion to it. You have to add bhakti to it. You should shed some tears. You should have a warm heart. Then it works. And Bhagavan was like that. Even Shankara, everyone, we went there, it's all same, we went to Nim Karoli Baba Ashram, and I think you were not there, but last time I was telling that he came in my dream and telling me that, where is mine your meditation? because our meditation room in Melbourne, they're all male gods, Dakshinamurti, Hanumanji, the main male, Ramana, Arunachala. And so I contacted Ramana Ashram. I asked Dr. Aruna that we want some female goddess. So she said, you can have a Shri Chakra, which we have. But I said, look, we need something female goddess. And she said, Yoga Ambikai, Ambikai, which they worship there. They do a procession. It happened in Navaratri now. So, so I thought, we need something, If Neem Karoli Baba has said, we should definitely do that. That's the only thing he said to me. And it was so vivid. And I asked him, what do you want me to do? This was my question to him. I said, where is Ma in this whole? And this whole Maya is Ma only, It is only creation of Mother only. It's already there. It's on our face all the time. So no disrespect to anything. Creation has its own thing and its utility. And through creation, in creation, we are finding pilgrimage and teachers and things which are helping us to evolve, transcend. So you cannot fight with things and reach somewhere. There's nothing to fight. Acceptance is the key to freedom. When we accept, then we transcend. Otherwise, we will always be in a fighting mode, and the fighting makes you more attached to things. So sometimes some people on path of spirituality, they become more arrogant. People who are not vegetarian, they will take them as, look down on them or something like that. They will have their own so much of rigid concepts. Whatever is happening, it's happening perfect. This is the way it has to happen. There's an order in chaos. There is some order, big order. So we have to just accept things as they are and love devotion, love bhakti. I believe it is all love, nothing else. When in satsangs we meet, nobody is a stranger. Nobody feels that we are meeting for the first time. It is a family which is made up from a dozen different countries, and then you come and you meet. So beautiful. It is only that awareness.
This is part of a practice I have taken on, is when I see people, just to, like, the default the mind will have something to say, oh, this is Chinese, this is guy, this is this, and I immediately kind of ignore that, don't touch that, and see, oh, this is same people. And I noticed even, somebody was commenting, oh, I took this flight and these people were sitting next to me. They were servants and it was not a good flight. And I'm like, okay, they were all humans. But, if you want a better choice, make sure you take a first class ticket, then you don't pay that money, because you are having a problem with it. They didn't have a problem sitting next to you. So this is something I'm trying to take on, is not to differentiate with the Chinese. That is because when we met at satsang, there's so many people from different races, cultures. They had come to Neelakant Maharaj. They were there in Neem Karoli. Even all of us, like, they don't understand half of the shlokas, but people is same. The bhav is same. Everything is same.
Love has one language, Everyone can feel love. Everyone can feel divine energy, It has no language. It can be palpated, That is why there is no differentiation in anything, Undifferentiated awareness. Live in that, believe in that, and it gives you miracles all the time. I'll tell you a just short thing today. Somehow I felt like to have a sweet today. And I was telling my one of the receptionist staff that let's get something sweet today to eat. And she said, what do you want? And we were talking about it. The next patient brought a Tim Tam chocolate. And she said, this is for you. today's your birthday. I said, no, today is not my birthday. She said, but I somehow felt that I should get you something sweet. And my receptionist was shocked, and we were discussing. She said, but you just asked now. This lady must have left home an hour ago, and then she must have thought even before that, and then she brought it. So how come you are thinking now and she has already done it even before you think? I said, this is the love of God, Even such a small thing He takes care of. What I am saying is that life becomes a miracle, when you leave it to Him to sort out everything. You cannot do anything. We cannot do anything. Even this Rishikesh was not in a concept recently. It just came and then we went, and it was so beautiful. And it was all organic. We had no clue where to go, where not to go, how the day will go. It was every day was whatever is happening, whatever is the way it will happen. When you leave to that Paramatman, He takes care of. He is taking care of even now when we think we have a control. And this is the problem. Bhagavan says all the time, you put your luggage down. We are in a moving train. And He is driving this train. You just sit back and relax. And what to worry? Now you have seen the place in India where even if you have no money, you can live easily. There will be food and shelter for you. So why to worry? And the only thing which is important in life is love. And that love should be within us. To give, not to take. Everyone is trying to receive. And that is the problem, and nobody has it. There's scarcity of that true love because nobody has looked within. We all look within. We are infinite source of that bliss. Unending bliss. So, wherever you come from, whatever your, lineage is, doesn't matter. Whatever practice we do, if it doesn't make us more humble and full of love and impartial, then maybe we are doing something wrong. Because more you become spiritual, more you become humble, more you get connected with everything. At a different level. Maybe you might not be interested to throw parties or attend big gatherings. But there's a subtle current of awareness which connects with everything. Anything which also wants that, it connects immediately. Anything which wants to say as a wave in a superficial appearance will not feel it. And you cannot make anyone feel or not feel. When it happens, it just happens. It's good to hear because we met few times since we came, and so people shared their experiences. But yeah, it was nice to have your experience too. Thank you. We are celebrating Hanuman Jayanti, and it was not my planning. I even don't know when Hanuman Jayanti is. It comes and goes. But this time when I came, can you believe I was asked that we should do something on Hanuman Jayanti. So we are having on 12th of April, Saturday, morning is starting with Sundarkand and then 108 names of 108 times Hanuman Chalisa, and then bhajans, and then dinner at night. So whole day program on this Saturday.
I just noticed also Hanuman Jayanti, and even I never noticed before. Even on Sunday there was Ram Navami, and I never noticed before. I'm like, I even didn't know what Ram Navami is significance. Then it's a birthday. Then I say, okay, at least I can observe something. I can do some japa. I can do something.
What we can do is we can keep the Zoom link on, and if anyone wants to listen what is happening, anyone can join us in a way, through Zoom. We can do that. I'll make sure we do that. That would be nice, So, and I just want to add something. Before our today's satsang, I was on WhatsApp with a person, very important from Neem Karoli Baba's point of view. This person is just retired as an IAS in India, and I know him, Alok Chopra. He lives in Lucknow. His dad, Mr. Chopra, was a chief engineer, or I don't know exact post, but working for government department. And what happened was, after Baba passed away, Maharshi, nobody knew where that land which was given to Neem Karoli Baba was in Rishikesh. Nobody knew. And what happened was, this person, one of the doctors, grabbed that land, and nobody knew. So this Alok's father was driving his car, and he was thinking about, how can I find? So this man knocked on his window and said, can you give me a lift? And he sat next to him and gave him a slip saying that this is the place, exact location of Neem Karoli Baba's ashram land. And then on the next crossing, he moved out of the car. Immediately, Mr. Chopra understood that he was Neem Karoli Baba only. And then they found that land. And that was the land on which we all went. So I'm just telling you some story of that, because I was talking to his son only just before satsang, because I'm going to Lucknow where he lives, and I was asking about the Kachi Dham. He is in the committee, he looks after. So he said there's hardly any space to stay there. People usually stay around hotels and motels, because he said the number of people used to be not more than 1,000 in a day in the past, on special occasion, and usually only few hundred. Now there are like 50,000, 60,000 people. It's a big issue for the local government in Kachi Dham to manage that big crowd. So that is the power of that being who lived there, and his presence is still there. Same is at Ramana Ashram, that energy of Bhagavan is there. It's the same thing. Same other yogis and saints, you go to their place, you will feel the same. That is why when you turn into spirituality, I would say everyone should pay a visit to India. Wherever you go, you will find something there which can elevate your level, recharge you, and take you to that flight of where there is no time and space, where we are all eternal, unborn, enjoying the bliss. So what we call as creation, this creation coming from Maya, from Mother, dynamic, is coming from that source only, stillness. How it can be impure, how it can be, you can say, is not going to help you. It is all about our intention. When our intention is that even in this Maya, everything will come to take you back home. We need some faith, we need some practice, we need some devotion. And I think that is the best ingredient. Believing in life, not always paranoid about life. Some people want to check everything, know everything, then they will decide, and then they change again their stance on a thing. Ifs and buts and always confusion. Let it be, At the end, whatever will happen is the one which is destined to happen. So why we should worry? Some people keep thinking about whatever decision they took 20 years ago has gone wrong. It was supposed to be like that. This awareness which we always talk about and through which we abide in truth is so subtle. That is what in the last satsang also we were talking, that in the noise of the word you cannot listen it, you cannot grasp it. So solitude is important, and some time with your own self is important to understand it. And then another noise is there in our head. That has to also decrease in quantity and quality, and then more focused on your heart, on your pure energy. Then the real game starts. Then all the egoistic attitudes and doings becomes very transparent. And then you can't do anything like that. Someone asked Bhagavan, I think Paul Brunton, that when you have no intention and when you are just in awareness, then without thinking, then you can do something wrong, isn't it? A Jnani's body might do something wrong. Bhagavan said never. Sometimes in ego, we want to do good and bad happens. So we think when there is no intention, then even wrong can happen. Because for us, the way we think is our own way to see everything around us. And I think the only way to get rid of our way of thinking is let go. Have faith in Supreme. Let Him decide. In this way, the mind settles. And we become without any worries. Then we see everything in true perspective when the mind is not there. This thinking pattern about everything. Recently at our meditation center, a boy came. He was in his early 20s, and I don't know how he entered. The gate was open. He came, he drove his car, and then came and he said, Buddha has sent him here. There's no board, nothing is there. And it's a bit secluded area. It's not like a main road in which you can come. And then once he settled, he wanted to stay there only. And he's an international student. We called his parents and flight was booked him to go back home. And he had a diary, and I was reading through the diary, and he was writing about all these things which a young person has guilt about something done wrong and then wants to be better, and then he believes in God, and he's writing that God, please help me to be a good man. So, and he was carrying that with him. And we just sat together for a while, and to me he looked very settled and calm. So how people come, how they join, how things happen, only he knows. Nobody can know these things. But whatever person or whatever thing happens in your life, you should take as he is arriving in your life. Even a cheater, the people don't accept that easily, but I have to say everything he's sending. We can accept good, but we can't accept bad. If we start accepting bad as also his divine, he's coming in that form, then there can be never a problem. Because it's just a play. Everything has to happen the way it has to happen. And we can fight with people, we can argue, and we can resist, or we can just observe. It is our choice. In this fight, you can lose, you can win, but at the end, you will lose your peace 100%. And if you observe, you will see how things changes. Even the bad element will change in this observer, because there is no resistance here. Anything goes wrong, ego jumps up and down. It thinks it's a big deal, why it happened with me and I have to do this. But as a witness to things, and if you stay long enough like that, without giving importance to your thoughts, you will have this understanding that this is a better way to live. At least you are happy, more contented, peaceful. And then the energy emanating in that state actually also changes people around you who wants to fight with you. Either they will stop fighting or they will leave. People who are in business and they have targets, always busy with that, but let the target be there, but don't be worried about anything. Targets and deadlines and all. Do whatever best you can do. And in business, if we also think that the other person should also gain out of your business, not that we have to get all the money from everyone, but everyone should gain out of it. Then it is a very different feeling, even if you lose some, because someone would be gaining if you're losing, I believe. And that is what your intention, the others also should gain. Then it is a win-win situation for everyone. And if you look that impartial way, everything, then you will never lose your sleep. I have to just put a word of caution about interaction with people and loving people, and all that is very good. But also check yourself when you are on your own. Do you love yourself? Are you happy, contented, peaceful? If not, and then you're loving people, you're not helping anyone, because the problem is that you have not sorted out yourself first. I know so many people, and you must be knowing people around you who are always socializing, giving gifts, this, that. Ask them to stay 5 minutes in a room. They will have a panic attack. This is known as escapism. This is not genuine abidance in self. It might help others, but it will not help you. It's not helping you. Abide in this energy of self. Spend time in solitude. Do your sadhana, whatever it is. And then you will feel there's no need to meet anyone. No need to do anything. But if things happens, you will do it. You are your best company. And then the second best company is satsang, or the people who are also for that. so many sages, and you can also experience when you have a lot of this energy, it feels like to share. And if you don't know how to be in it, you lose everything, and then you get all that vibes from different types of people, and then you need another pilgrimage or another retreat. So we should also know how to recharge ourselves with that. And that is our sadhana. That is our contemplation. I know that we all have experienced if the whole day you are busy with people, you want to be just on your own. And you don't want to talk to anyone, nothing. To get back to yourself. Knowing unknowingly, everyone does it, whether you're spiritual or not spiritual. For some people, the easy way is to have some drug or alcohol or watch a movie to distract in something or play a sports. But I would say, keep checking your own stillness, even when you are super busy. Never lose track of that. Remembrance is the key. So people who are super busy, I would say they should have breaks in day when they can be free to imbibe in that. At least experience being aware of it. Others who are not that busy, they can easily be in that awareness mode. They can keep their attention there. Looks like Josh is in a bus, traveling in a bus. It looks like that to me. Okay. Nice meeting you, everyone. And whether you attend satsang or we don't attend satsang, but be in that energy always. Always remember Ramana in your heart. Because you know what Ramana means, Raman, the one who is in, जो सब में रम रहा है, who is in everyone is Ramana. You know, in Adhyatmic Ramayana, when Yoga Vashishta gave Ram his name Ram, he said this name is being picked from Ramana, or Ramana, who is Raman in everyone, that is Ram. So you can say that Ram has come from Raman and Raman has come from Ram. It's the same. So if you do Ram, 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 or you do Ramana, Ramana, it's the same. No difference. I'm saying this because I had a conflict a little bit, because I was always into Ram and Hanuman. And then I read that. And then another thing happened at Ramana Ashram. One of the persons who works there, he told me this thing, that Hanuman is Shiva. Shiva always keeps saying Ram, Ram. And Shiva came to help Ram as Hanuman. So it's all same energy. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.